All set? All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Haley Bresina, and I work on AI products and ethics at One Model, a people analytics platform provider. So, we help organizations unify workforce data so HR and people teams can actually use and trust it. Today, I'm going to show you how we're pairing operational AI with human expertise to dramatically reduce the manual work it takes to stand up a solid workforce data foundation and then get teams to decision ready data much faster. And we're going to try to do it without turning the whole thing into something only a handful of technical people can understand. So, just to set the scene, I bet everyone in this room has lived some version of this. You're in a meeting, someone pulls up headcount, someone else has a different number, and suddenly the conversation is no longer about what to do. It's about whose number is right and why, and usually it's payrolls. So, usually the problem isn't bad data. It's scattered data across systems, each with different definitions, different calculations, and different security and access. So, your HRIS sees things one way, your recruiting system has another version of the story, and the comp tool is kind of off doing its own thing. For years, one model has helped bring those pieces together. But doing that well used to take a lot of manual setup, expertise, and time. Getting just a few large data sources joined and modeled cleanly and customized to how your organization does people analytics in the first year was a big achievement. And it still is. But with our recent AI innovations, we've really picked up the pace and improved that process. And that really matters because every data source that you add gives you a more complete picture of your workforce. So once your data actually works together, the value of every source goes up and it goes up exponentially. So maybe your HRIS can give you headcount, and that's cool, but adding your recruiting system gives you a way to connect the hiring pipeline to workforce outcomes. Add performance and comp, and you can understand if high performance is truly rewarded. So now we're really getting started here. Basically, the more of the workforce picture that you connect, the smarter your answers and insights get. So here's where I'm going to actually show you what's new. We're using operational AI to accelerate the setup itself. And we're not doing this by inventing an analytics environment from scratch, but instead by using the structure, logic, and governance patterns one model already has built and tested over time. So we don't let AI run wild and cross our fingers because it's just not consistent. Instead, we let it interpret requests and match them to our tools to do manual work faster. But it's not just faster. The foundation is also more consistent, governed, and AI ready because all the necessary architecture that most data lakes and systems are missing. This is things like the semantics layer, calculations, and the permissions layer. And what's special about this is they're all enforced across the system from its creation. So I'm about to show you one AI data intelligence modeling 7 years of raw Workday and greenhouse data. But this approach and tooling is flexible. We can work across any source from enterprise systems like SuccessFactors and Oracle to survey platforms, operational data, badge swipes, even ad hoc spreadsheets. So, first, you'll see One AI starts by reading your raw data and building a configuration plan. Then we show you the full plan laid out. Before anything is built, you can see what needs to happen to make that data usable, connected, and consistent. That's things like data transformations and what tables and metrics One AI will create. If it looks good, we execute the plan. The script that builds the data model is generated, but before anything runs, one of our senior data engineers reviews it carefully. And that human sign off is intentional. AI is doing the heavy lifting, but it's not operating without oversight. So once the plan is approved, the building begins. And this is what that looks like in real time. You'll see metrics are created automatically and consistently using your org's definitions and structures that you already know and trust, but at a pace no manual process could match. Then storyboards come online. And just like that, your analytics environment is standing. Your team can now move from setup to the real work. exploring the data, asking questions, and building. So that's over 1,000 components in about 15 minutes. This used to take my team several weeks to build manually. However, speed is great, but if you build really fast and nobody can understand the data model or the logic beneath it, you've really just created faster confusion. So, after the data foundation is unified and built, next is trust and transparency. I want you to think of this visual as a living map of your entire data model. And the value isn't just the interactive, pretty picture. It's that you can ask it questions in plain language, and our AI will help you understand your data model. So instead of digging through code or tracking down an engineer, I can ask things like, where does the metric today's headcount come from? Is that straight from Workday, or is there logic layered on top? Who's included? What's the definition? Who has access to it? And that's a really big shift because it means the details behind each component of your data platform is immediately more visible to non-technical users and easier to explain and trust. And once your data foundation is understood, we can start the fun part, building on top of it and telling stories. So, this is our storyboard studio. Basically, you describe what you want to build or explore, and one AI helps turn that into a dashboard you can use. That can be very specific, like build me a storyboard with these exact details and charts, or more open ended, like build me a storyboard that uses my learning and onboarding data together in a creative way. Either way, it's not just throwing random, tangentially related charts on a page. It asks clarifying questions like, did you mean last calendar year or last fiscal year? It shows you what it's going to create and it lets you steer before anything is finalized. So here I'm exploring a very real workforce question around internal mobility. Are employees finding new paths inside the company or simply leaving? One AI builds a storyboard around that question and prompt. It also explains the reasoning behind the layout, why these visuals belong together, and how they help answer the question to connect the dots for the builder and viewers alike. It's trained on golden standard data visualization and real content proven across thousands of users. When it's this fast to create a storyboard, you stop thinking only in terms of permanent dashboards. You can build something around a specific question for a meeting tomorrow or simply create a space to explore. The innovation isn't just faster output, it's reducing the friction between having a question and having something to actually play with. But that's only half of the story because the pain is usually not getting version 1 built. It's updating it when follow up questions come in or someone wants to look at that story a little differently. But here with one AI, edits are simple. I can do things like extend time periods, swap metrics on every chart, update colors, move legends, and just clean up the presentation. So I can reshape the whole storyboard in one sweep instead of manually reworking every chart by simply asking. And what I really like about this and the previous tool is that it still keeps the human in control. And this is a workflow, not a one-shot output, so I can compare versions, revert if I don't like something, save the update, and publish to my audience when ready. So AI isn't replacing judgment here. It's removing the tedious work that sits between, I know this needs to change, and I know how, and actually changing it. You can keep the analysis current without babysitting the mechanics. And once you have an understandable, unified data foundation, and you can build with it quickly, the next opportunity is bigger than one model itself. This is where the whole story expands. One model isn't just making workforce data more usable inside our product. It's making that trust portable to the tools you all work in every day. So this is our AI connector strategy. And what I mean is AI and other tools can connect back to the one model data foundation as the governed source of truth. So instead of working from scattered systems, fuzzy context, or copy pasted numbers and reports, it can work from the same definitions and controls your team already knows and uses. And that's really important because this is where a lot of AI breaks down in practice. The model may be clever, it may be super advanced, but the data underneath it is inconsistent, not well defined, unsecured, or in a million different places. Or even worse, it doesn't know how your organization thinks about people analytics, so you get generic answers instead of answers that matter to you. So here, the foundation travels with the question. It's no longer making people hunt for answers in a dashboard or a report. The answer can come to them as a visual, in text, or an analysis right from where they're working. So, in this specific example, someone is in Claude connected to one model using their historical hiring data to build a workforce planning simulation for the next few years. But the connector respects the user's one model permissions, so the analysis always stays grounded in the access they already have, even from Claude. So, when you step back, this is the real shift from data chaos to decision ready. We aren't using AI to replace the people in this room, just to take a lot of the operational drag out of the process. It means less time manually merging data together, waiting on rebuilds, and debating 5 versions of the same metric, and more time exploring and using trusted data across all your systems in one place. And for me, that's the point of AI in this space. Not more noise and black box answers, but faster, more reliable paths from messy workforce data to real business impact. So, if that sounds like the kind of shift your team needs, come talk to us at the One Model booth or shoot me a note on LinkedIn. Bring us your messiest question, the metric no one agrees on, or the data workflow that still takes too long. We'd love to show you what it could look like in One Model. Thank you.